Elena Moore was 25, a product manager at a well-known tech firm, and she had just spent the last hour listening to her mother claim credit for everything she'd ever bought for the family. Every single gift, the television, the cookware, the expensive neck massager, had been presented as a lucky charm she'd won in a Livestream giveaway. Her mother, Rose, would call her friends and brag, "My eldest is so thoughtful." Then she'd turn to Elena and, with a cold sneer, mutter, "Ingrate." Right now, Rose Moore sat on the living room sofa, legs crossed, preening as she shared her wisdom over the phone. "I deliberately moaned about not winning the lucky draw, put on a little pout, and just like that, she jumped to fix it. That's how you handle kids, you nudge them, or they'll never learn to be grateful. Her sister wanted to buy me something, but I stopped her. Why let the youngest waste her money? The older one, though, she's fair game." Those words, crisp and clear, traveled through the computer microphone she'd forgotten to mute in the living room, straight into Elena's company video conference. Straight into the ears of her director and every single colleague. And she was the older one. All those stolen credits, that hijacked filial devotion, the scraps of warmth she'd begged for on her knees for years, shattered in an instant. Elena pushed open the bathroom door, red-eyed, and walked to the center of the living room. Rose startled, fumbling to end the call, and the flicker of disgust that crossed her face in that split second cut deeper than any insult. Elena didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just pulled out her phone, found the order for the $1,200 massage chair that hadn't even shipped yet, and, right in front of her mother, tapped "Cancel order." She thought it was an ending. She had no idea it was only the beginning. The glow of the phone screen burned against her face as Elena crouched by the clutter on the balcony, her finger hovering over that red "Cancel" button. She couldn't press it. Not yet. Her mother's voice was still lodged in her eardrums like a rusted nail, impossible to dislodge, aching with every breath. "I made a point of sighing about missing out on the lucky draw, acting all down, and she fell for it hook, line, and sinker. That's the trick with kids, you've got to steer them, or they'll never think to be grateful. Her sister wanted to buy me something, but I waved it off. Why let my baby girl waste her money? The older one, though, she can afford to chip in." That was 20 minutes ago. The conference call was still running when she ducked to the restroom, forgetting her computer was still live in the living room. Rose, thinking no one was home, had been dishing parenting advice to her old friend Aunt Peggy, her smug, calculating voice broadcasting through the mic to every single person on that call. A beat of dead silence, then the director's awkward cough. "Elena, if you have personal matters, feel free to step away." Elena felt all the blood rush to her head, her ears ringing. She fumbled for her phone to mute, only to realize she'd taken it with her. She scrambled out, just in time to see Rose lounging on the sofa, legs crossed, chatting away with theatrical relish. "Mom! Were you talking about me?" The words tore out of her, raw as shattered glass. Rose, startled, jabbed the end call button, and the flash of annoyance and guilt in her eyes drenched Elena like ice water. I was talking about your sister. What's it got to do with you?" Rose mumbled, her gaze darting away. "Sister. Always the sister." Elena was 25, a product manager at a well-regarded tech company. Decent pay, brutal hours. She had an older sister, Vivian, 3 years her senior, who'd gotten married last year to a well-off husband and settled in the state capital. To everyone else, the Moore family had 2 daughters, Vivian, sweet-tongued and doting, the perfect little princess, and Elena, steady and capable, quiet but dutiful. Only Elena knew the lice crawling beneath that perfect princess veneer. She took a deep breath and backed out of the order page. That $1,200 massage chair, the one her mother had screenshot that morning, captioning it, "Missed the lucky draw again," was supposed to be a surprise. Not anymore. She stood up from the balcony clutter, legs prickling with pins and needles. This so-called home, a sprawling 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom apartment, had once housed Vivian in the master suite, her parents in the second, and Elena, since she was 15, when she was brought back from Grandma Agnes's, she'd slept in a glass-partitioned nook on the balcony, crammed with cast-off junk. 10 years. 10 winters like a freezer, 10 summers like an oven. It wasn't until Vivian married that Rose grudgingly let her move into the master suite, with a patronizing wave. Your sister's moved out, the room's just sitting empty. Take it, but don't mess it up. Elena remembered nodding, almost tearfully grateful that her mother had finally noticed her. How ridiculous. The room still held Vivian's discarded clothes in the closet, her high school trophies on the desk, her celebrity posters on the walls. Rose came in every day to dust and polish, muttering, Vivian always liked things neat. Elena was less a resident than a caretaker for her sister's shrine. She shuffled back to the living room. Rose, as if the confrontation had never happened, was already flipping channels with the remote. She didn't look up, her voice carrying its familiar edge. What are you standing there for? Aren't you making dinner? I said I wanted steamed fish. Did you buy any? Elena studied her. Rose was in her early 50s, well-preserved, with permed curls, a silk dress Vivian had bought her, and a gold birthday ring on her finger from her eldest. She looked younger than her years, carrying an air of entitlement, the kind that had been built on 15 years of Elena's misery. Mom, Elena said, her voice hoarse. Do you really believe those lucky draw gifts all came from Vivian? Rose finally turned, frowning. Here we go again. Are you done yet? If not Vivian, who? She sends me money all the time, tells me to stop staring at my phone, that she'll handle it. She's got heart. You? All you ever say is, Mom, don't scroll so much, it's bad for your eyes. What else have you done? She was working herself up, channeling all the embarrassment of being caught into rage at Elena. I raised you for nothing. Look at your sister, then look at yourself. She knows how to care. You live under my roof, eat my food, and you're not fit to tie her shoes. Not fit. Elena repeated softly. Something in her chest cracked, a hairline fracture. She didn't argue. She walked into the kitchen. Rose's voice followed her, muffled but sharp. Elena opened the fridge. It was stuffed with cheap hauls from live streams, half-rotted vegetables, expired yogurt, a maze of mystery condiments. She took 2 eggs and a wilted bunch of greens and made herself a bowl of plain noodles. She didn't cook for Rose. By 8, Rose erupted in the living room. Elena. What's your problem? Think you're too good for this family now? I'm hungry, are you deaf? Elena walked out with her empty bowl, calm as still water. Mom, I ate. If you're hungry, there are frozen dumplings in the fridge. Fix them yourself. Rose's eyes bulged, as if seeing a stranger. You want me to cook for myself? Have you lost your mind? I worked my fingers to the bone to bring you back from the countryside, and this is how you repay me. Bring me back. Elena set the bowl in the sink and turned, her smile flat and cold. Mom, Grandma Agnes is the one who found me at the train station. If not for her, I'd have frozen to death in some ditch. Are you sure it was you who brought me back? Rose's face went scarlet, her finger trembling as she pointed at Elena. You ungrateful wretch. I knew it, you can't raise a snake and expect it not to bite. Just like your deadbeat grandmother. I should have let you die out there. That landed like a knife dipped in ice, straight into Elena's softest spot. Grandma Agnes, the woman who'd pulled her from death's door, held her calloused hand through childhood, taught her never to beg or fight, only to be thankful, had been her only light. And now Rose had defiled that light with the vilest words. Elena's nails bit into her palms, the pain keeping her steady. She didn't crumple like she used to. She met Rose's gaze and said, slowly and clearly, "Mom, Grandma's gone now. Are you sure you want her visiting you tonight?" Rose's tirade died in her throat, choked off like a strangled hen. Real fear flickered across her face. She opened her mouth, closed it, then shot Elena a venomous glare, grabbed her phone, and slammed the master bedroom door behind her. Silence. Elena stood there, staring at that closed door, and felt the 10-ton stone on her chest shift, just a little. She pulled out her phone, opened the massage chair order, and without hesitation, tapped, confirm cancellation. Then she opened another shopping app, scrolling through 2 years of orders, a non-stick pan, a smart TV, a cotton sheet set, a rice cooker, an air fryer, all shipped to this address, all with the same note, please no price tags or thank you cards. Just include a "Congratulations, lucky winner" card. Thanks. All of it, bought to make Rose smile, to show that her younger daughter cared too. And what had it gotten her? Every shred of credit handed to Vivian, who did nothing but talk. She screenshotted every order, saving them in a new album. Then she opened WhatsApp. Vivian's last message was a group holiday greeting from New Year's. Elena typed, "Vivian, Mom says all those lucky draw gifts are from you." 10 minutes later, Vivian replied with a voice note, her voice syrupy sweet, "Elena, what are you talking about? Mom must be mixing things up. I've sent her some skincare and clothes, but those little appliances. She probably misremembered. What's wrong?" Elena almost laughed. Misremembered. Or deliberately confused. She replied, "Nothing. Never mind." And closed the chat. No point asking. The answer didn't matter. What mattered was that in Rose's mind, Vivian's devotion had to be genuine, selfless, worthy of boasting, while Elena's contributions could be anonymous, stolen, denied altogether. Favoritism was a disease of the bone. No cure. Saturday morning, Elena went to the office. She couldn't stand being home, bracing for Rose's next tantrum. Before leaving, she washed the dishes, tidied the kitchen, and left $50 on the table under a glass. She thought it was an olive branch. At 3 in the afternoon, her phone buzzed. Rose. She hesitated, then answered. "Elena. What's the meaning of this? You leave $50 like I'm a beggar. Your sister sent me $200 just yesterday for a new jacket. You make all that money and you give me $50. Elena stepped into the stairwell, lowering her voice. "Mom, that's for groceries. I'm not home for lunch, make yourself something nice. Vivian's money is hers, spend it however you want. Don't you drag your sister into this." Rose was still fuming over last night. "I'm telling you, get home now. The neck massager your sister bought me is broken, you're taking it for repairs. The tech's coming at 4. Elena froze. "What massager?" "The neck and shoulder one. Your sister bought it last month, fancy imported brand, cost a few $100. Barely used it and it's buzzing like a dying fly. Get back here and wait for the repairman." Elena opened her mouth, closed it. Last month? She distinctly remembered Rose posting a "lucky draw win" screenshot of that exact massager, captioning it, "Great luck today, scored a premium brand." That massager, she'd spent half a month's salary on it, carefully selecting a Mother's Day bestseller, and had the store fake it as a live stream jackpot. Now it was Vivian's gift. Ice crawled up her spine. She could picture Rose's righteous indignation. "The thing's in my house. I say, who bought it? What are you going to do, cross-examine me?" "Mom," Elena said, her voice light but edged with frost. "Do you really not know who bought that massager?" A beat of silence, then Rose's voice cracked higher. "Are you sick in the head? Let it go. Vivian bought it, end of story." You're always stirring up trouble. Get back here now. If the tech arrives before you do, I swear. Mom. Elena cut her off, her tone eerily flat. I'm not coming back. Deal with the repairman yourself. Whoever bought it, that's who you should call. What? Rose shrieked. You're out of your mind. Your sister bought it for me, and you, her sister, can't run one errand. If Vivian bought it, call Vivian. Elena's voice was stone. I'm Elena, not Vivian's maid. Goodbye. For the first time, she hung up on Rose. Her fingers trembled. She shoved the phone in her pocket, leaned against the cold wall, and exhaled. The stairwell was silent except for her heartbeat, drumming loud in her ears. Grief, rage, but above all, a strange, intoxicating release. Turns out, saying no wasn't that hard. By 4:30, Rose's messages flooded in. Voice notes, one after another, each a tearful rant. Elena, you heartless monster. I raised you for nothing. Your sister's gift breaks and you can't even run a simple errand. Do you have a soul? If I hadn't said yes, your grandmother couldn't have taken you in. Now you're too big to acknowledge your own mother. Get back here right now, or don't bother coming back at all. Then texts, riddled with typos and exclamation points, ingrate. Useless. Vivian would never do this. You're just like your father, cold. Selfish. And finally, 2 transfer screenshots, Vivian's $200 to Rose, asterisk of mom, buy yourself a nice coat. Asterisk and another, $300, mom, happy birthday, treat yourself. Rose's caption, look at your sister. Then look at yourself. All you do is make my life miserable. Elena stared at those screenshots, a wave of absurd laughter rising in her throat. Vivian sends money, and Rose brandishes it like a trophy. Meanwhile, the TV, the fridge, the cookware, the massager, all of it slapped with Vivian's name. In this house, Elena's only purpose was to supply her sister's filial image and fuel her mother's vanity. She didn't reply. She silenced her phone and got back to work. At 8 that night, she dragged herself home. The living room was a disaster, takeout containers on the coffee table, tissues on the floor, the TV blaring some loud variety show. Rose, in pajamas and a face mask, scrolled on her phone, not even glancing up. The broken neck massager lay in a corner of the coffee table, limp and abandoned. Elena changed her shoes, walked over, and picked it up. The power light was off, but the plug was fine. She pressed the switch, nothing. She flipped it over and spotted a tiny serial number. She pulled out her phone, opened her order history, and cross-checked. Identical. This was hers, the one she bought. She carried it to the sofa and stood over Rose. Mom. I bought this massager. The order's right here, serial number matches. Why did you tell everyone Vivian got it? Rose's face was obscured by the mask, but her body stiffened. She peeled it off, revealing a flustered expression. What are you talking about? Vivian bought this. The order. Elena shoved her phone in Rose's face. Last month, a week before Mother's Day. I paid $240. The store put in a lucky winner card, just as I asked. You posted it the day you got it, today's my lucky day. Rose's gaze darted. Well, maybe Vivian paid you back. It was her money. Bank statement. Elena swiped the screen. Paid from my own debit card. Want me to print the whole record? Rose went quiet. She snatched the massager from Elena's hand, muttering, fine, I misremembered. You bought it, happy now. Such a drama queen over nothing. Nothing. Elena laughed inwardly. Stealing credit, erasing her sacrifice, painting Vivian as the devoted daughter and her as the ingrate, that was nothing. She didn't push further. She pocketed her phone. Rose, relieved that the storm had passed, slipped back into her imperious tone, "Since it's yours, get it fixed. Have it ready by tomorrow morning, I need it." Elena looked at her, this woman who suddenly felt like a stranger. She said nothing, turned, and walked to her room, the one that used to be Vivian's. She locked the door, slid down to the floor, and sat there. The room smelled of Vivian's unfamiliar perfume. On the desk sat a framed photo of the Moore family from Elena's first year back, Harold, Rose, Vivian, and little Elena on the edge, looking lost. Rose's hand rested affectionately on Vivian's shoulder. Elena's hands hung at her sides, untouched. She stared at that photo for a long time. Then she reached out and flipped the frame face down. Click. Something had broken for good. Sunday morning, Elena woke to laughter in the living room. 7:30. She got up and opened the door. Harold Moore sat at the table, sipping porridge, while Rose bustled around setting out side dishes with a warm smile she'd never once given Elena. And across from them sat someone she didn't expect, Vivian. Vivian looked impeccable in a crisp white dress, perfectly made up, long hair flowing. She was chatting with Harold. "Dad, you need to take your blood pressure meds on time. I bought you another 3 months' supply, I'll put it in your drawer." Harold's eyes crinkled. "My eldest's always looking out for me." Vivian turned to Rose, handing her a paper bag. "Mom, a cashmere scarf for you, fall's coming, and mornings get chilly. You said you wanted something soft, so I hunted for a good one." Rose stroked the scarf, beaming, scolding lightly, "Oh, you spend too much. I still have that $200 you sent, you never learned to save." But her eyes sparkled with pure joy. Elena stood in the hallway shadow, watching. Sunlight flooded the living room, warming the three of them in a perfect domestic tableau. She was the dark smudge in the corner. Vivian spotted her first, rising with a fixed smile. "Elena. You're up. Come eat. I brought your favorite soup dumplings from that place downtown." Elena walked over. Indeed, soup dumplings, soy milk, fried dough, several small plates. She sat down, and Vivian slid the soy milk toward her. "Eat while it's hot." "Thanks, Vivian," Elena murmured, picking up her chopsticks. Rose sniffed. "Your sister took the early train just to bring us things. You sleep till noon and can't even lift a finger." Elena's chopsticks paused. Vivian jumped in. "Mom, Elena works hard, let her sleep in on weekends. I came to see you all, not to supervise." Rose grumbled but dropped it, though her glare at Elena lingered. Breakfast unfolded in a tense hush. Harold ate quickly and retreated to the TV. Rose peppered Vivian with gossip. Elena chewed her dumplings, tasteless as cardboard. "Oh, Mom," Vivian lowered her voice conspiratorially, "you mentioned wanting that $1,200 massage chair. A friend of mine works in furniture and can get a discount. Want me to ask?" Rose's eyes lit up, but she waved a hand. "Oh, too expensive. I just window shop the live streams. If I win, I win. I'd never let you spend that much." "Nonsense," Vivian said earnestly. "You're on your phone all day, your neck must be killing you. A massage chair is health. Don't worry about the money, my husband and I agreed, it's our gift to you." Rose's eyes misted, she clutched Vivian's hand. "My good girl, truly Mom's good girl. And your husband's so thoughtful. Unlike some people, who only know how to make my blood boil." She shot a pointed look at Elena, who was biting into her last dumpling. Vivian followed her gaze, face full of concern. "Elena, what's wrong? Work stress? Did you and Mom fight?" Elena chewed slowly, swallowed, sipped her soy milk, and looked at Vivian with dead calm. Nothing. Just, Mom's massage chair. I cancelled the order yesterday. The room went dead. Rose's smile froze. Vivian's eyes flickered. Even Harold turned from the TV. You cancelled. Rose's voice went shrieky. Who told you to? Your sister was buying that for me. Mom. Elena met her gaze, unblinking. I placed that order. Night before last, I opened it right in front of you and tapped cancel. You saw me. You told me Vivian bought it. So I cancelled. She turned to Vivian. Vivian, you heard her. Mom said you bought that chair. If you're the one buying, I don't need to double up. Vivian's smile cracked into awkwardness. Elena, you misunderstood. Mom must have mixed up. I didn't misunderstand. Elena's voice stayed level, but steel crept in. I misunderstood for 10 years. I'm done. Mom said you bought the TV, the pots, the massager, all of it. Funny, I have order screenshots for every single one. Vivian, want to see if they match Mom's story. She pulled out her phone, unlocked a photo album, and turned the screen toward Rose and Vivian. Screenshots, dense, detailed, showing dates, product images, shipping addresses, and that same note, fake lucky draw card, please. Rose went pale. Vivian's composure cracked. She glanced away, forcing a dry laugh. Elena, really, it's no big deal. Mom probably misremembered, she's getting older. She misremembered. Elena pocketed her phone, fixing Vivian. Vivian, you know better than anyone who's buying things in this house and who's just talking. You told Mom these were from you. Doesn't that feel wrong? Vivian pressed her lips together, the sting of exposure burning her cheeks. She recovered quickly, sighing with a "you're being difficult" tone. Elena, I never told Mom they were from me. She must have misunderstood. You bought her nice things, that's great, and I'm sure she appreciates it. Don't overthink it. She appreciates it. Elena's laugh was cold. She appreciates it so much she called me an ingrate and you the devoted daughter. Your devotion, so effortless. The air went brittle. Rose slammed the table. Elena. That's enough. Your sister barely visits, you have to ruin everything. Who bought what, does it even matter? What matters is Vivian cares about me. She thinks of me. You? All you do is dredge up the past. I'm not dredging. Elena stood, zipped her jacket, grabbed her phone. I'm leaving. Enjoy your family time. She turned for the door. Elena. Vivian called after her, panicked. Wait. We can talk this out. Elena didn't look back. She pulled on her shoes, hand on the doorknob, and said, Mom, there's food in the fridge, don't order takeout for lunch. Dad's meds are in the TV cabinet drawer. From now on, call Vivian for all that. Click. The door opened and shut. She left behind their shock, their anger, their guilt, all of it. Elena walked through the crisp September morning, the breeze sharp and clean against her face. She inhaled deeply, letting the air fill her lungs. She found a McDonald's, ordered a coffee, and sat by the window. Her phone buzzed non-stop in her pocket. The family group chat had exploded. Rose sent a dozen voice notes, tearful rants, calling her ungrateful, saying she'd given her high blood pressure. Harold sent a text, Elena, you know your mother's temper. Come back, don't let this tear the family apart. Vivian messaged privately, Elena, enough. Mom has hypertension, you know that. Do you want to put her in the hospital? I'll explain things to her, but you need to come back and talk in person. When did you get so petty? We're family, why split hairs? Elena read none of them. She silenced her phone, turned it face down, and sipped her coffee. Sunlight poured through the window, warming her hand. Outside, the city hummed with life. Inside, she felt a calm she hadn't known in years. Her mind drifted back. The winter she turned 15, sick with fever in that balcony nook, Rose had locked her in with nothing but a thin blanket and a few pills, annoyed by her coughing. It was Grandma Agnes who sent help through a neighbor. A cousin rode his motorcycle for miles to bring her an old padded jacket. Through high school, she walked 40 minutes each way while Vivian got hot breakfasts and rides on rainy days. College was another divide. Elena's top-tier acceptance earned a shrug from Harold and a complaint about tuition from Rose, while Vivian's average state school was celebrated with a banquet, new gadgets, and endless praise. She'd spent every ounce of effort trying to earn a scrap of recognition, pouring her salary into this house, buying Rose's happiness, stocking Harold's meds. And for what? To be the footnote in her mother's conversations, the one who wasn't bad. Now she saw the truth. Everything she gave was taken for granted. Her efforts could be erased, her grievances trivialized, her existence a nuisance. She finished her coffee, the bitterness lingering on her tongue. Then she picked up her phone, opened the family chat, and left the group. Next, she blocked Rose and Harold's numbers. After a moment's thought, she blocked Vivian too. She pocketed her phone and exhaled. The street sounds, cars, chatter, flooded in, vibrant and alive. In the window's reflection, she saw a tired face with bright, clear eyes. She remembered Grandma Agnes on her deathbed, her withered hand wiping Elena's tears. "Elena, if it's too hard to stay, leave. The world is wide, there's a place for you. Don't suffer in silence." "Grandma, I'm listening now." She stood and walked out into the sunlight. Elena didn't go home. She texted her colleague Chloe, "Can I crash at your place for a few days?" Chloe, a blunt northeasterner, replied, "Come on over. I live alone, your company." "What happened, family drama?" "Yeah," Elena said. "No biggie. Hot pot tonight. I'll send the address." Elena smiled and hailed a cab. In the car, she messaged HR about the employee dormitory lottery. Her company offered singles apartments. It was a wait list, but she could get on it. Chloe's apartment was in an older complex, cozy, clean, with a warm vibe. That night, they gathered around a bubbling hot pot, and Elena sketched the outline of her story. Chloe was so outraged she slapped the table. "Holy crap. That's insane. Your mom's a total piece of work. You're her ATM and her scapegoat." Elena shrugged. "I didn't see it before. Now I do. Good for you." Chloe piled beef slices onto Elena's plate. "Some parents just walk all over you the more you give. Push back, and they crumble. Bet you, in 2 days, your mom will be calling." Elena said nothing, focusing on her food. Her phone lay silent on the table, no calls from blocked numbers. The quiet felt strange, but not unwelcome. Monday, she went to work. The director called her in, obliquely mentioned last week's conference call incident. Elena gave a brief explanation. He didn't press, just said, "Watch your image." She nodded, unfazed. Some colleagues gave her odd looks, she ignored them. At 5, the front desk called, "Elena, your family's here." She walked out to find Vivian in a white suit, looking anxious. Vivian rushed over, voice low, "Elena, you blocked us all." Mom's blood pressure spiked. "Come home with me now." Elena studied her. "If her pressure's high, give her meds." "I already bought them, they're in the TV cabinet." "You saw them." "Elena." Vivian grabbed her arm. "Don't be like this. Mom's tough, but deep down, she cares. You're making us look ridiculous." "She cares. Elena gently pulled free. Vivian, do you honestly believe that? Vivian's composure wavered, then she switched to pleading, she's our mother. She gave birth to you. You can't be this cruel. Come back, apologize, and this all blows over. I should apologize. Elena laughed. For what? Canceling the stuff Vivian bought? Or for not playing the sucker anymore? You. Vivian flushed. Why are you so bitter? I'm trying to help. Families have fights, but you don't burn it all down. Vivian, Elena said evenly, if you spent years giving everything, only to have all the credit stolen and get called an ingrate, what would you do? Vivian paused, then looked away. I'd be more understanding. I'd see Mom's side. So you're generous, understanding, and devoted. Elena nodded. Good. Keep that up. I'm done. I have work. You should go. She turned, leaving Vivian's frustrated call behind. Elena. You'll regret this. Regret? Not a chance. The next days blurred into a rhythm, work by day, apartment hunting at night, sleeping on Chloe's couch. She'd left the family chat, blocked their numbers, and the world felt oddly lighter. But under that lightness was a hollow ache. She'd still catch herself opening shopping apps, hovering over live-stream jackpots out of habit, then force herself to close them. The urge to please had become muscle memory. Thursday at noon, grabbing lunch at the corner store, her phone rang. A number from her hometown. She answered. Elena. Harold's voice, worn and tired. It's Dad. She gripped her sandwich. What's wrong? Your mother, she's in the hospital. His voice was heavy. Collapsed last night. High blood pressure. They're keeping her for observation. Elena's chest tightened, an instinctive jolt of worry, but she tamped it down. Is she serious? Stable for now. Harold paused. Can you come see her? She won't say it, but I know she wants you here. Silence stretched. Rose in a hospital bed. The woman who'd always had the energy to shout at her now lying pale and fragile. Emotions churned, concern, guilt, but mostly a bone-deep weariness. Dad, she finally said, voice soft, is Vivian there? She came back yesterday. She's been with us. Then that's good. Elena swallowed. Vivian takes better care of her than I do. If I show up, it might make Mom's pressure worse. Elena. Dad. She cut him off gently. I put your meds in the TV cabinet drawer. Your insurance cards in the nightstand's second drawer. Anything you need, talk to Vivian. I'm swamped at work. I've got to go. She ended the call. The sandwich in her hand was crushed. She leaned against the store window and closed her eyes. Back at Chloe's that night, she sat on the couch, zoning out. Chloe patted over with warm milk. Rough call. Mom's in the hospital. Oh no. Are you going back? Elena shook her head. No. Going back won't change anything. She won't change. I won't change. We'll just repeat the same script. Chloe sighed and squeezed her shoulder. You're doing what's right. Some distances are healthier. As long as you're sure. Elena nodded, sipped the milk, and let its warmth settle her. She remembered a long-ago autumn night. She was 7, burning with fever in that balcony nook, and overheard Rose telling a neighbor, that second one, sickly since birth. I don't know if she'll make it. I'm not counting on her. Vivian's the one I'm banking on. That ice-cold nail, hammered into her 7-year-old memory. She'd learned early, the unwanted child could never do enough. She set down the milk and opened a rental app. 2 days later, she got a long text from an unknown number. Vivian's style, unmistakable. Elena, it's Vivian. Mom's home now, resting. The doctor says she can't get stressed. I know you're angry, but she's our mother. I've explained the gift mix-up to her. She says she probably misremembered. She hasn't said much, just your name a few times. Dad's worried. Please come home, let's sit down and talk. I know this has been hard on you, but you can't fight fire with fire. Please think about it. Elena read it twice. Then deleted it. Explained the mix-up. Misremembered. A few glib words to erase a decade of favoritism and cruelty, then flip it on her for being too sensitive. She thought of a phrase, emotional blackmail. Using family as a moral straitjacket to pin you down, you fight, you lose. She'd been a fool to miss it. Friday, the director called her in, expression strained. Elena, I'm hearing things about your family situation. That you've cut them off, your mom was hospitalized, and you didn't visit. It's not a good look for the company. Elena understood immediately. Vivian's visit had done its work. She didn't defend herself, just said, Director, I'll handle my personal affairs. It won't affect my work. See that it doesn't, he said. You know performance reviews factor in teamwork and professional image. Don't let family drama sink your career. She walked out, the last shred of hesitation crumbling. They wanted to drag her reputation, force her to bend. She wouldn't. She opened her email and confirmed a job interview she'd been mulling, a small new tech startup offering better pay and frequent travel. She'd been hesitant, now she wasn't. That weekend, she toured a one-bedroom apartment, small, clean, off the beaten track but with a supermarket downstairs and a park nearby. She signed the lease on the spot. Moving day, Chloe helped her haul 2 suitcases and a jumble of bags. The new place was bare bones, but Elena stood on the balcony, surveying the skyline, and felt a calm she'd never known. Over dinner that night, Chloe asked, really not going back? Your folks? Not for now. Elena sliced her steak. They have their family, they always did. I was the extra. Chloe raised her glass. To freedom. Elena clinked hers, laughing. The streetlights outside danced on their glasses. Monday, she submitted her resignation. The director tried to sway her, but she wouldn't budge. 2 weeks' notice, time to reset. Her days grew simple, work, handoff, organizing the new place, cooking simple meals, reading, early to bed and early to rise. No one yelling, no one demanding, no errands. She'd never realized how much peace was possible. The fortnight passed. On her last day, she took a few close colleagues, Chloe among them, out for drinks. Good food, good laughter. Walking home that night, she snapped a photo of the moon through the autumn leaves and posted it to a private story. The moon is lovely. The wind is fine. So am I. Vivian's call came 2 weeks later. It was Harold's number, but Vivian's voice, tear-strained. Elena, can you come home? Dad. Dad's in trouble. Elena's stomach dropped. What happened? He's been diagnosed, lung cancer. Vivian's voice shook. Early stage, they say treatable, but he needs surgery, and then more treatment. It's going to be expensive. We have money tied up in CDs, can't get at it quickly. Could you loan us some? I'll pay you back, I swear. Elena held the phone, steam from her instant noodles fogging her vision. Lung cancer. Harold, the quiet presence, the absent father. She was quiet for a long moment, then asked, what about insurance? Dad has employer health coverage and a private policy. Insurance covers some, but a lot of the meds and tests aren't covered. Vivian's voice grew frantic. And they need a big deposit up front. Elena, I know we haven't been fair to you, but this is Dad, he's still our father. Elena closed her eyes. She pictured Harold, always on the sofa, silent, rarely engaging, smoking his quiet cigarettes. He'd never been cruel, just detached. He'd failed her, but he hadn't hurt her like Rose. How much? She asked. We need about 10,000 to start. Maybe more later. Elena, I know you've saved some, please help him. I'll find a way to pay you back. 10,000. She had it, years of saving, earmarked for her own down payment. Her independence fund. Vivian's voice cracked. Elena, don't abandon him. Mom's already back in the hospital with the stress. If you don't come, this family's done. Elena gripped the phone, knuckles white. After a long pause, she said quietly, "Stop crying. Tell me which hospital. I'll be there tomorrow." She hung up, stood at the window, and stared into the dark. Lung cancer. The man who gave her life, who never really loved her, was he worth helping? She couldn't hate him. He was just weak. She booked a train ticket for the morning. Next day, she stepped back into the city she'd sworn off. Autumn had stripped the streets brown. She took a cab to the municipal hospital. On the 5th floor, she found the doctor and nurse speaking outside a room. Vivian was there, wiping her eyes. Rose sat on a bench, in a hospital gown, skin sallow, a fresh bandage on her hand. Vivian rushed to her. Elena. You came. Rose looked up. She saw Elena, lips trembling, then turned away, shoulders shaking. Elena let Vivian hold her hand, but she walked to the room. Harold lay in bed, oxygen tube in his nostrils, gaunt and gray, asleep. He'd shrunken dramatically. When's surgery? Elena asked. Wednesday. Vivian sniffled. But there are more pre-op tests, and costs are piling up. My husband and I scraped together 5,000, we still need the other half. Elena glanced at Rose, who still hadn't looked up. She sighed, pulled out her phone, and transferred 5,000 to Harold's account. Here's 5,000, she said. The rest, figure out something else. Can your husband chip in more? Or cash out the CD? You'll lose interest, but Dad needs it now. Vivian's face lit up with relief. Okay. I'll talk to him. Elena, thank you, really. Rose finally raised her head, eyes red, mouth working. She said, Horse, have you eaten? Elena looked at Rose's graying temples, her welling tears. The sharp hatred dulled. I ate. Take care of yourself, Mom. Don't collapse again. Rose's tears spilled. She wiped them with her sleeve, voice quaking, Elena. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was mumbled, too soft for anyone else to hear. Elena heard. But she felt nothing in response. She'd waited 15 years for those words, they didn't matter anymore. Let's not dig up the past, she said quietly. Focus on Dad. She didn't linger. She went over care instructions with Vivian, stopped by the doctor's office to confirm it was early stage and treatable, and felt some weight lift. At 3, she walked out of the hospital. Autumn's sun flooded the steps, bright enough to sting. She stood at the top, looking at the street's familiar chaos. Vivian ran after her. Elena. You're leaving already. Stay for a few days, your room's still yours at home. No, Elena shook her head. New job, things to do. I'll come back for his surgery. Vivian hesitated, then nodded. Be safe. Elena hailed a cab. As it pulled away, she glanced back at the white hospital building, its windows flashing. She leaned into the seat, closed her eyes. Her phone buzzed. "Chloe, how's it going?" She replied, "Okay. Gave $5,000. Surgery should work." "Chloe, softy. But he's your dad. Hot pot tonight?" Elena smiled, typed, "Yes." The cab wove through the city. Out the window, she saw old landmarks. A thought crystallized: she would buy her own place here. Small. 1 bedroom. Sunlight through the windows, trees outside. And she'd put Grandma Agnes's silver ring on her desk, to show her that her granddaughter finally had a home. A week later, Harold had surgery. Elena came back a day early and rotated shifts with Vivian. Rose recovered and went home. On the third post-op day, Elena sat by his bed, peeling an apple. Harold lay weak, watching her clumsy hands. "Elena," he rasped. "I wasn't a good father." Her hands stilled, then kept going. "It's done. Rest up. Your mother, her temper, you shouldn't hold it against her." He coughed. "I know you've had a hard time." "I knew." She handed him the apple, smiled faintly. "Eat. Don't talk." There was no anger left. Not forgiveness, exactly, release. It wasn't worth dragging an old man fresh from lung surgery through the wreckage of the past. She chose to let go. Life moved on. Harold recovered, went home. Elena visited twice more, staying briefly each time, dropping off supplements and cash, then leaving. Rose softened, just a hair. Less sniping. The occasional, "Did you eat? Are you tired?" And once, as Elena left, Rose handed her a jar of homemade pickled vegetables. "You used to love these." Elena took it, said, "Thanks." It was heavy in her bag. She left the complex, glanced back at the familiar window, and walked to the bus stop. Favoritism didn't vanish because someone got sick. But at least Rose had begun to realize her younger daughter could leave, could hurt, could not come back. That curbed her worst edges. Elena wasn't moved. She was pragmatic. A measured distance was infinitely better than the one-sided drain. By year's end, Elena's probation was over, she was officially hired. The new company was small but relaxed, colleagues young and friendly. Work kept her traveling and burning midnight oil, but it was a satisfying burnout. Her savings, combined with recent income, let her sign for a tiny apartment in her new city. Closing day was a bright winter afternoon. She stood in the empty shell, planning aloud: a beige sofa here, a bookshelf there, plants on the balcony, a warm yellow light in the kitchen. She took a photo of the view, tall buildings against a blue sky, and posted it without a caption. Vivian commented, "Where's that?" Elena didn't reply. She pocketed her phone and started measuring the room, humming under her breath. Her phone buzzed again. "Chloe, nice. Congrats." Elena sent a voice note, "It's mine. Come housewarming when it's done." Across town, Vivian stared at the unanswered comment, uneasy. She showed Rose the photo. "Mom, look, Elena bought a place." Rose was picking vegetables. She squinted at the screen, then looked away. She remembered the last visit, Elena with a worn-out canvas bag and faded puffer jacket, dropping off supplies and vanishing. Rose had wondered, where does all her money go? Now she knew. She's on her own. "It's not easy," Rose mumbled, still picking, her eyes clinging to the photo. Vivian watched her mother's expression, the longing there, and felt an old certainty crack. She'd always been the favorite, showered with affection, spared no indulgence. But since Elena had changed, Rose sometimes drifted into silence, clutching Elena's gifts, sometimes mentioned her with a cautious tone. That long-held sense of primacy was eroding. Vivian sighed. "Winter, Elena's new life filled with work, renovation plans, learning to cook, outings with colleagues. She even adopted a scrawny ginger tabby from a shelter, which she named Machi. On New Year's Eve, Harold called, "Are you coming home for the holiday?" Elena thought for a moment. "I don't think so, Dad. Just settled in, want a quiet one." A pause. "All right. Take care. Your mom's got cured meat for you, I'll mail it." "Yes. Thanks." She hung up, cradled Machi, watched fireworks crackle in the distance. She boiled dumplings, opened a bottle of wine, and put on the New Year's gala. The TV blared, hosts beaming. She sat with her cat and felt whole. At midnight, her phone exploded with messages. She replied to friends, then opened the family chat. She'd left it, but Vivian had started a new one and added her. She'd muted it, never spoken. Vivian had posted a feast photo, Rose and Harold, dressed up, smiling at the camera. Caption: "Wishing Mom and Dad health and happiness in the new year. At Elena, Happy New Year, sis." Elena looked at it, Rose's forced smile, Harold thinner but well. She typed, "Happy New Year," and sent a small red envelope, "For fruit, Mom and Dad." Vivian grabbed it, and Rose sent a voice note. Elena played it. Rose's voice was careful. "Elena, eat well out there. Did you get the meat? Steam it before you eat it." "Got it, Mom. Thanks." Elena replied, even-toned. She set down the phone, raised her wine glass to the countdown on TV, and whispered, "Happy New Year, Elena." Machi purred against her. Spring came. Elena's apartment was finished, light wood, cozy. The balcony overflowed with potted herbs and greens. Her kitchen wore fairy lights. Grandma Agnes's silver ring sat in a small box on the desk, beside an old photo, grainy but bright, Grandma Agnes smiling. She had Chloe over for a housewarming hot pot. They drank wine, lounged on the sofa. Chloe gazed around in admiration. "Girl, this is life goals." Elena stroked Machi. "Not bad. How's the family?" Chloe asked. "Okay. Dad's recovered. Mom's quieter now. It's a healthy distance, they're them, I'm me." Chloe nodded. "Exactly. Some people are better at arm's length. Get far enough, and they start to appreciate you." Elena didn't answer, she watched the city lights. A year ago, she'd been trapped on that balcony, secretly buying gifts to buy love. How small she'd been. Now, in her own home, with her own cat, no shouting, no guilt, she'd cut off the rope that bound her, and in return, she'd found herself. Before Qingming, she went back home to visit Grandma Agnes's grave. She didn't tell the family, took a train, bought flowers and joss paper, and climbed the hill. The grave looked south under pines. Elena knelt, placed the flowers, lit the paper. Smoke curled into the breeze. She bowed thrice and whispered, "Grandma, Elena's here. I'm doing well, I own a place now, and I've got a cat. No more worrying." She pressed her palm to the cool stone. She told Grandma everything, the new home, the job, Machi, sleeping in on weekends, reading all day with tea. Her voice caught, but her eyes stayed dry. "Thank you for saving me," she whispered. "For teaching me to live." She stayed until the paper burned to ash, then stood, brushed off her knees, and walked downhill. At the foot, she spotted a figure, Rose, standing under an old locust tree, holding a thermos, peering up the path. She saw Elena and shrank, hesitating. Elena approached. "Mom, what are you doing here?" Rose thrust the thermos at her. I figured you'd come today. It's chicken soup. Drink it while it's hot." Elena took it, heavy, fragrant. She looked at Rose, who was staring at her shoes. "Thanks, Mom." Rose glanced up, opened her mouth, then asked, Is your new place all done?" "Yes." "Then, could I come see it sometime?" Rose's voice was almost fragile, probing. Elena watched her. The spring wind stirred Rose's graying hair. She saw how old her mother had grown. The sharp, cruel edges had worn down into something tired, uncertain. She didn't answer right away. The steam from the thermos warmed her face. Then she said, "Sure. When I've got time, I'll bring you and Dad up for a few days." Rose's eyes brightened. Her lips twitched, almost a smile, suppressed. She nodded hard. "Okay. It's a deal." Elena watched her mother's rare, clumsy joy, and felt something lighten inside her. The past would stay buried. She didn't need Rose's love to validate her anymore. She already had a home. On the train back, Elena leaned against the window, watching the fields blur past. Her phone buzzed. "Chloe, soup any good?" She smiled, typed, "Yeah. Mom made it." Chloe sent a string of question marks, then a thumbs up, breakthrough. Elena thought for a moment, then replied, "Maybe." The landscape rushed by. Ahead was her city, her home, her cat, her own full and burning life. She closed her eyes, a small, quiet smile on her face. Sunlight pooled on her hand through the window, warm and steady. She was no longer that girl huddled in a balcony nook, grasping at scraps of illusion. She had grown into someone who could shelter herself, free and whole. And that freedom, solid, lasting, was worth more than any favorite ever could be.